Hello and welcome to another edition of the EVP Xero Show. I'm Zero as normal, and I'll pass you along the line today because we've got some very special guests with us. So over we go.
What's going on, guys? I am the EVP of the Main Event Network. We are glad to be back, episode 13, with some special guests, and we will go to them.
Yes, over you go then. So introduce yourselves then, ladies. Off you go.
You want to go first, Les?
I will if you want me to. Hey everybody, I am Leslie of Acknowledge the Dynasty podcast. I am the podcast wise woman. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful for this opportunity to be here and just to talk WrestleMania, talk wrestling, talk this business that we all love. So thank you so much to Zero and to the EVP. I'm honored.
No problem. And Monty, then we might as well do your intro.
Right. Hi, everybody. If you don't know me on Twitter, I am Monty of HD Podcast. I am the Tribal Jesus, as well as the one that hosts all the watch parties currently.
Yeah, that's
hello,
everybody. So welcome. Thank you once again for sort of agreeing to come on tonight. Obviously, we had to have you on post WrestleMania because of how big it was. So let's have a look. Let's check the comments first of all before we go on. So the only one we've actually got is one of your colleagues as well, Erica.
That's the final boss of ATD. Hey, Erica.
Yeah. Erica.
There we go. Yeah, so that's Erica. So we might as well get into it. So one of the big stories this week that we might as well all discuss about, because we were talking about this off air, was, well, Dwayne Johnson, really. We've seen sort of what's gone down. There's been quite a lot. Let's where do we start with this, really? So Dwayne went on the Pat McAfee show and exposed everything to him and claiming there was no storyline, saying that basically it's the whole soul thing was just a ticket. It was basically just a way to sell tickets, basically, for Elimination Chamber, and it was never planned. And now today there's been some damage control done again, where he went on David, where he tweeted back to David LaGreca, who does Busted Open, after David was going mental, and basically admitted that it's a work, and it's a massive storyline. He basically admitted that in the comments for it. So where do we think this is leading? Sort of what sort of ways do you reckon they're going to lead this to? Have you got any thoughts on that or anything really on the Rock thing? We'll go along basically then. Might as well go CJ first, really.
Well, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to digest. I mean, if you're looking at it from a fan's perspective, I mean, you may be a little bit upset because, like, it sounds like, I mean, I can spot it a mile away. It's a work, but man, did he set the X and all these big content creators on fire? Like Dave LaGreca almost busted a blood vessel on his face, hollering into the screen, calling him MFer and just cussing nonstop. Like, he did exactly what he was trying to do, and that's get people to talk. And it sounded more like he was doing some damage control. For me, that's what it really sounds like, is a lot of damage control, because the main event really just didn't live up to what it was supposed. I mean, WrestleMania 40 and 39 and 41, it's not close. So it's Dwayne being Dwayne. Obviously, Triple H didn't mention Dwayne in his Hall of Fame speech. Rock never mentioned Triple H in his interview with McAfee. So we're looking at some sort of power struggle storyline that's starting up between them two. I know it looks like he's shitting on the company, but he's really not.
Yeah. What about you, Monty and Leslie? Where do you think this is leading to? Do you think we're going to get anything sort of big out of this, or is it just kind of like sort of, you know what I mean? Like, was it just going to fail, really, the way they're doing it? All right. Who wants to go first?
Would you like me to go first, Les?
Yeah, let's go Monty then.
Go sit on this one.
Got it, Monty.
Everybody needs to calm down.
Yeah.
When he went on the Pat McAfee show, he pretty much was doing damage control. What really made me go, okay, this is going to be funny as hell. Like right now, like I'm cackling because everybody is, throwing shit, setting things on fire, throwing, just having conniptions, taking off all their clothes, just doing a whole bunch of stuff. It's unnecessary. this to me, when he sat there and he said that they did not have any plans for this whole feud with Cody and John Cena. They did not have anything going on. And he told Triple H, I have an idea. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to tell Cody that I want his soul. Eureka! That to me is where I sit there and I cackle. And what's crazy is he tweeted on, was it March the 10th? See you down the road. Mm-hmm. He wasn't coming back. He was not coming back, guys. Like, it's okay. I mean, I can admit it myself. I was like, he's got to be coming to Mania. He's got to be coming to Mania. They got all this stuff. He's not coming to Mania. He's not there. He's not there. I started laughing at it because I was like, there is no friggin' way. And when they said he's going to be on the Pat McAfee show, I'm going, people are pissed off and they're carrying tiki torches and they're really, really upset. And it's time to just go ahead and do some damage control. And then the fact that Triple H didn't mention him in the Hall of Fame speech. The Rock didn't mention Triple H. And what's even crazier is when he was talking to David LaGreca, he was still working to him. He was still working because he didn't say Triple H's name at all. This is hilarious to me. And honestly, I cannot wait. I really can't. Leslie?
I'm going to come at it. Let me just say this. Like, I'm going to speak for a little bit from a fan perspective. He got me. I was one of those. I was a little frustrated because we were all, we were all jacked up. We were all excited. We were all, oh my gosh, Dwayne's going to come. He's going to be here and it's going to set this WrestleMania on fire and it's going to be the best WrestleMania ever. But it didn't happen. So did I get into my fandom a little bit and in my feelings? I did. But the way you all are explaining it, I never saw the interview with Pat McAfee, but the way you all are explaining it, if this is a storyline between like Triple H and The Rock, I'm all for it. I mean, let's see what happens with it. And to be mad and upset, it's okay to have that little instant, oh, I'm pissed off in the moment, but okay, then there's a time to get your brain, get those, like I used to tell my kindergartners, CJ, in your everyday life, use your noodles, and think about it. But again, was I frustrated a little bit? Yes. But if this is the way they're going with it, you know what? And this is to IWC. We've waited this long. We've got through all this big season of all this. Let's continue to see what happens. That's the beauty of a story. No matter how the twists and turns it takes, that's the beauty. Keep us guessing. Yeah. I'm all for it.
Yeah. And I mean, I can see something sort of big coming out from this, and it's going to probably more than likely lead to The Rock just coming out of nowhere. Because don't forget as well, something quite interesting that was picked. Well, some interesting things from actually WrestleMania. They were actively promoting him as well because there was T-shirts and everything up with finally The Rock has come back to Las Vegas. So they had all that up there before the show. They had posters all over the place advertising the final boss actually as being there. There was even a little bit up on one of the merchandise stands where they had a picture of Cody, a picture of Cena, and then right smack bang in the middle with a picture of The Rock. And the only other pictures they had up there was of all the other matches and that. So like you could actually buy merch from all those other matches. So it was a perfect sort of tease in that, getting people there thinking that he was going to show up and that. I mean, it's the biggest work we're going through in the company history, I would say. On that, and this is something that I was going to bring up because it's just it's a little something that I've sort of heard and that. Obviously, I reported beforehand about Heyman working with The Rock. Now, obviously, Heyman's making his own version of Evolution. You would say roughly, if you think about it. So you've got obviously, yes, well, yeah. So it's obviously Bron Breakker, Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins. And then possibly one or two others joining that one. So it's obviously going to be like an extended version of Evolution. Now, what about if the Raw version of that with Paul Heyman is technically Team Corporate, which is Rock's side, and then on SmackDown, you then have Team Triple H, which then he'll then be building up, and you then have maybe potentially Drew and a couple of others from SmackDown side of it. So now that's your Survivor Series. That's your War Games. Team Rock versus Team Triple H, basically in the Power Series.
Absolutely, I love that idea. I love that. It needs to culminate to that.
So I got something to add on that. So with first off, Triple H, I was watching JD and Solid Monster, and they brought up something that's really made me start thinking about it. Like, so Rock is pushing for Cody to go heel. What if Cody's like, no, like I'm not gonna go heel? What if this is just all like for Rock to kind of get back at Cody for what he did at 40 in Philly, and he wants Cody to go heel so that he can come back and ultimately be that babyface that beats Cody, because Cody still owes Rock one from Mania. You know, he beat Cody. That's the only match he's had. He pinned Cody. What if he's doing that so that he can come back and beat Cody and then drop the title to Roman? That's what a lot of these big time content creators are going at. They think it's a power struggle, but they think it's ultimately Dwayne trying to maneuver himself around and keep the title in the family by pushing Cody to go heel. I don't know. It's just something to think about.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good idea, actually. Anyone else got anything else to really bring up on that one?
Well,
before we move
I
on?
do want to say is that John Cena said that he's trying to destroy the business. Of course, he's having help with The Rock and everybody else. But
Yeah.
I do want to say that is actually a genius idea. The Rock has gone on record. In fact, Cody Rhodes even said it himself that The Rock told him that he has 2 matches in him. Guaranteed, one is Cody's, the last one has got to be Roman's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
So,
gotta be that.
And my opinion, of course, I think that the team Triple H versus team corporate at War Games, solid, 10 out of 10, like 2 pleas and popcorn. But also, it's just that I need everybody on the IWC to calm down, and that's asking for a lot. And I understand, like, it was Crash Out Mania last week, but like, guys, can we please just enjoy the show for once?
Exactly.
Zero, didn't they? Another thing about the Survivor
Yeah.
Series, it's obviously in San Diego.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's a work, but did they not take the War Games portion? Like, they're not calling it War Games. So, like, what are we
Yeah.
doing? What are we doing at Survivor
Yeah.
Series? Like, are we not having that?
It could even be brand. It could even be brand versus brands. That's the thing. This is what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. Is this why we could have team corporate versus team whatever it's going to be called, as it's going to be. You know.
Wait a minute,
Yeah.
they're getting rid of War Games
It
this year?
doesn't say, they're not advertising War Games. It just says
Yeah.
Survivor Series.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
on the
I
branding,
hear
it just
that.
a Survivor Series and that. So I mean, so could that be another thing as well? Like, you know, Cena wants to destroy the company. Is he trying to? But he's already said like he's going to do a reset of the company
Mm-hmm.
and that for it. So you know, a complete reset of everything now, and it would make sense really if they obviously like sort of started from the bottom again and came up. Like you got to think they want to do everything in their powers to get rid of anything Vince related.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, changing the title over. That's why Cena's going to be the last title holder of that one, because
Mm-hmm.
you know that big W title is going to be gone. You're never going to see that big title again. And that once Cena drops it, that's it. Well, once Cena retires with it, technically, or whatever, you know, you're never going to see that title again because that's going to be gone. They've got a new title made for it. You know, Cena's going to do a CM Punk and walk out with the title and basically go home with it at some point.
Basically blow kiss to everybody and leave.
Yeah, basically, and do that way. You know, and then potentially come back and, you know, I was even hearing that they were going to do sort of like the sort of similar storyline to what AEW did with the Real World Champion. So then, so later on down the line, you then have the new champion who'll be crowned, potentially Cody, versus then John Cena for his final match, and then that would then be then like Cena's final match, and they sort of do it that way in December. But Cena refuses to bring the belt back. He refuses to basically do it all that way. So, you know, he basically walks out, and then finally for that final match, he brings the belt back, puts it on the line, and sort of retires it technically, and it goes.
I always imagine when they said destroy wrestling, I always had it in my head that like the last thing they do is The Rock does, and The Rock John Cena do, is they take Cody's soul. I always imagine that was like the finish of the we're going to destroy wrestling.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah,
because the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
It's the easiest way to do it if you think about it. It's like you take the person who's all about wrestling and you corrupt them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that way it's possible, but yeah, like I was saying, the interesting thing is like wrestling. If you think of wrestling, you think of Vince McMahon, So obviously, if you get rid of anything Vince McMahon, that's wrestling gone. You know, you can start afresh, basically. That's technically what they're doing, is they're getting rid of anything Vince-wise, and obviously the big W logo is Vince McMahon. And I know there's new titles made. That there is new titles made for any of the ones that featured the big W on them, and you know, here's a bit of a sort of leak here. They're basically like the WWID titles. Have you seen those ones? The WWID ones?
I haven't seen. I don't watch WWE ID.
Yeah, they got leaked out a little while ago. Basically, they've replaced it. The logo, the WWE logo, is like really small on the belt, so there's hardly any branding on it at all. So you can hardly see the branding. It's really, really small, either up in the top corner or right next to sort of the like champion bit there, and that's what it is on there.
So it's like the World Heavyweight Championship, except there's no big giant W in the middle.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah, technically, yeah. And yeah, so that's basically what they're going to. For it. And yeah, the new belt's actually ready. The new belt was backstage at Raw on Monday night. It's just waiting for basically Triple H to pull it and decide, you know, we're gonna put this new belt in. So, you know, whenever that is. So yeah, that's that really. Anything else on The Rock before we move on? Really?
I have one thing on Cena. I was watching a show today, and we only have 26 more dates with Cena. So, like, are they gonna push this title reign to where, like, they're already throwing him and Randy like at Backlash? Like, that's probably gonna happen. I have it on the back. I mean, hopefully. But are we gonna get Cena, Randy, and then Cena, Punk, and then Cody beats him? What I think is that Cody's gonna beat him like maybe SummerSlam or maybe even later than that. Like, because you gotta have Cena face all these big baby faces first, I think. But we'll see.
I mean, possibly. Obviously one of the interesting things is it's even been confirmed today after Joe Hendry said it as well. Is Joe Hendry basically called out John Cena for a match, and that he wants a tag match. He's basically turned around and said that he's going to bring a bigger star than Travis Scott, a bigger music star than Travis Scott with him to WWE, and they're going to do Joe Hendry and whoever this mystery music star is versus Travis Scott and Cena, and that basically.
I hope it's Bad Bunny.
Correct. So
I hope it's Bad Bunny.
That would be
a lot of
that would be
wild.
wild.
Bad Bunny, but I don't know. Yeah, who would be bigger than Travis Scott, really? Any sort of names who you think could be? Obviously, you've got to be wrestlers as well, aren't you? Really, people who can actually wrestle. Correct.
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar is
Dot is bigger than Travis Scott right now.
He's bigger than Travis Scott.
Unless they decide to bring Aubrey, and you know, if they do, I'm not watching it. I'm sorry. I love you, Joe Hendry, but I cannot watch that man.
So, but no, yeah, that's yeah. I mean, that's yeah, that's going to be quite interesting when they do that one. Maybe that's the last match that they do, that tag match, or they do that at SummerSlam or something like that. You know, it's because you want to do that match when it's somewhere big, especially if you're bringing in the big music stars for it. I would have thought you're not really going to do it at somewhere like a Backlash, or you could potentially do it at Money in the Bank, really, unless they're going to throw it. Maybe Saudi. They do the Saudi pay. It could be there. That's an ultimate opportunity there in November for it. Really, that's thought there. But yeah, what do we think about that match? That potential matchup that they're going to be doing.
Travis Scott in the ring. He looked really bad when he took that crossroad. The crossroads. Oh my God, Travis! You're 145 pounds soaking wet, buddy. Like, that's supposed to be the guy that's like protecting the title. Like, come on, man. Come on, Travis. You can do better.
Yeah. What do we think then?
Kris Jenner, you need to come get your daughter's baby daddy. That's all I got to say. Come get him.
Oh my God.
He was so, honestly, I feel like it was worse than Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was high. You can't be taking bumps and giving bumps when you are on that stuff. Sober up.
Yeah, was it Kylie Jenner? Come get your baby daddy.
No. Kylie can't do nothing. Kris.
Yeah,
Kris, come get your daughter's baby daddy.
That might be Joe Hendry's partner is
Kylie Jenner.
Kim Kardashian. It's gonna be Kim Kardashian.
Oh, that could be quite funny.
How about Timothy Chalamet? Bring Timothy Chalamet.
Oh my gosh, that guy's smaller than Travis Scott. That would be like a twig fight out there. It's like trying to two twigs trying to go.
I mean, it'd be entertaining.
Oh yeah,
it would be. It would be.
It would.
But no, yeah. So that's that one there. Have you got anything on it, Leslie, or anything, or anything really that you want to bring up on that one? Before we move on again.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you, though.
Right, okay, right. A couple of things, and I'll just run through a couple of points. So, Femi this week as well has made quite a statement because he's turned around and said that he wants a match one day with Brock Lesnar in a WWE ring, basically, and he reckons that match could headline a major event such as WrestleMania. I could see that if Brock comes back. I could see that over Femi versus Brock Lesnar. And that match could be pretty big for it. I mean, what do we think on that one? That potential matchup of Lesnar versus Femi? That's yeah.
I mean, anything's possible, man. Like Brock has got really close ties with Vince, and Vince has got close ties with Donald Trump, and they're probably going to get all that crap pardoned. I don't agree with any of it, but money talks when it comes to that kind of stuff. I mean, we're probably going to see Brock again, guys. Like, it is what it is.
Leslie?
Yeah.
The prospect of a match with Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar. You know what? It kind of does intrigue me. It's like if anything else, it's not going to be your 5-star technical wrestling match. That's for sure. It's going to definitely be a fight. It's going to be physical. And just but would Brock I would be all for definitely Oba winning that match, but it's just the question if Brock would put him over or not to end that match. It would be good.
Yeah.
I think it would draw on like a Mania. Do I think it's a main event that match for Mania? I mean, to be honest, I don't. I could see it, I could see it. And this is no disrespect. I mean, you got to have, we witnessed this Mania. You got to have that big match to open. So I would think it would be a good opener in that respect. Come on, if Jey Uso can open a match, once again, no disrespect, Oba or Brock can open a card like Mania, right? But that's a match that could go anywhere on the card. But a main event, to be honest, in my opinion, I don't think quite a main event, but yeah, just if. But I would see it. I would like to see it. But like I said, would Brock put him over?
Yeah, I mean, Brock, like, he loves to open a show so he can go get in a jet and fly back to Saskatchewan. He loves that, so I'd be down for an opener. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you think, Money? Before we move
Honestly, like Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar, I'd love to see it if it does happen. But yeah, as an opener, or even put it on in the middle of the show where you just have that moment where everybody's bored and you just need to pick it up. That would be perfect for that as well. But it's not a main event, in my opinion.
No.
Yeah, no. I can't see the main event if they do bring him back. I mean, but then it is Brock Lesnar, so you never know these days. It could be this however much they want to pay him, basically. Just before we move on then, so I might as well go through. So we've got Final Boss Lady in the comments. A couple of things there. Just hi, Russ Faith. And she then said, my husband, Rock, but I still love his ass. What else we got here? Mario C. Apparently didn't include War Games when they came to Toronto this year either. They didn't include that in the name. So I don't know whether that means anything.
Nope.
Obviously means it that way, so.
Yeah, they left it off.
Yeah. Michael Plays asking about Roman. I'll get to that later on if need be. Michael Fernandez. Bad Bunny can't do any match during the summer, mainly because he has residency in Puerto Rico for the entire summer. So if it is going to be a match then yes, it won't be him then, basically, if anything. Now, before we get into Mania, one last little thing. I don't know whether you've seen any of the leaked footage from that Roast of WrestleMania that's going around.
I've heard about it. I haven't seen it.
I watched it last night.
I've got a little clip from it, the little ending clip. This is basically Triple H ending it. Now, this was somebody asked him for his thoughts on this year's WrestleMania, and everyone basically complaining online. So this is what he said about it.
It's been a hell of a week. We've had a blast. Hope everybody was entertained. This was a lot of fun. I stood back there and laughed my ass off. The truth is, hopefully everybody had a blast at WrestleMania weekend. And if you didn't, I've got 2 words for you. Fuck off. Make some noise for Triple H.
Yeah, so that was Triple H's comments on this weekend. If you didn't like it, then yeah, basically fuck off, basically. Yeah.
Dude, it got bad. That roast it got really bad. I listened to the whole thing. Somebody leaked it on X last night. I just so happened to click on it because I wanted to look it up on YouTube, and I was like, no, they're gonna pull this fast. Nia Jax was like wailing on Charlotte Flair, talking about her divorces, and like she was wailing on Charlotte. Charlotte got took to the ringer in that thing.
They went for Cody as well, didn't they? I think did she get personal with Cody as well? I think.
Cody, she told Cody that he'll never be Roman Reigns. She was on attack mode. A lot of it was funny, but I'm just really not for that bringing up people's like divorces and all that. I'm not with all that. Like I think people need to leave that out.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Like, what do we have to say on those comments then from Triple H about what he's basically saying to everyone online, to whether we liked WrestleMania or whatever, or that finishing? What do we think?
That's a lot of talk for somebody who's gonna get fired on Monday.
Yeah, he's
there it is.
I was waiting for it.
It's over for Triple H.
I'm just going to say, is he telling that to the same people who paid like what 10, 15K for WrestleMania seats?
$20,000. $20,000.
You want to tell me to F off? Boy.
Yeah.
You must not want my money then.
He gonna get fired on Monday.
He's gonna get fired on Monday, didn't he? That's big. But yeah, so I mean that was quite interesting when I seen that bit earlier, and him obviously saying that. Now, was that from the heart, or was that just part of the joke? That's the thing, isn't it? Like, could it be joining in with this storyline?
I mean, he's chronically online. I think I need Aurora, Vaughn, and Murphy to take their dad's phone from them. Please, just girls, take your daddy's phone. And also, I'm gonna need the Rock's daughters to do the same thing. Simone, take your dad's phone from her. Get them off the internet.
These guys be living on X. Like, book the show, Triple H. Stop paying attention to the leaks. Get your daughters and all these burners and just stay off of X and worry about the product, sir. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
the biggest man in the company, and he's like living on X. Like, he's worried about what Zero's posting and what I'm posting and what ATD's posting, and he's like, "Oh, they think Cody's winning, so let me rewrite the whole show before we start." Like, come on now.
Well, Papa H paying attention to us, guys. We made it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I hope I live rent. Triple H. I hope I live rent free in your head. You're not gonna get fired on Monday.
Don't think he's not, because I promise you, they're paying attention to everything they see online.
Yeah. And if you're listening to this stream tonight, hi Hunter. Hi Paul. If you're listening, hi Paul. Yeah, if you're listening,
you're getting fired Monday, Paul.
Yeah, you get fired Monday, Paul. Yeah, according to money. Yeah, this will be now if he does actually. If he does get fired Monday, then we all know exactly where to go to.
Money, that's a t-shirt.
I think I just need to make that. I think we need to make that into a t-shirt. Less you get fired on Monday.
So I'm gone now. I'm gone. So before we go on, then, so just a couple of other comments. So Cam, who actually was at WrestleMania 41, he's from the Discord. He turned around and said that he paid almost 20K for Mania. So.
Oh my goodness!
So Cam was basically there.
Did you gamble too?
Reply back if you can do, Cam, obviously, in the comments there. Did you gamble and stuff while you were there?
I mean, 20K to go there, like Jesus.
Yeah. Erica, the race was so out of control according to what's been leaked. Yeah, that's what CJ said there. Jessica McDonald, new listener to the channel. I don't think we've had Jessica on here before. This is great. Hello, Jessica. Thank you for tuning in.
Friend of mine.
Is it? Oh, fair enough. Okay, yeah. That's fine. Erica again. Auntie Ashley we got to do it right. Ashley. Yeah, need to focus energy to keep Andrade off TV, but so he can't make their monthly payments. Yeah.
She needs to follow me back on X because look, guys, like I'm going on like day like 45 here, like quote tweeting Charlotte, like I'm getting tired of it, Ashley. You just need to go ahead and hit the follow back button so the EVP can move on to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Follow
Everybody's
back boy Ashley.
Everybody's favorite bougie auntie, Charlotte. Ashley. Go follow EVP.
Erica, is Rock looking to purchase New Japan Pro Wrestling? No, but watch out for another announcement soon. That's all I'll say. We've already had the AAA announcement, so just wait for another announcement soon. There's one coming.
Tony Khan somewhere's crying.
I don't know when it's coming. It's coming. And then Erica done hashtag you're about to lose your job. So yeah, that's right there. So yeah. Jessica McDonald, I'm new here. Thank you for having me. No problem, Jessica. You're always welcome to listen in. And Cam again, any Alistair Black news? Well, he's meant to be back on SmackDown, I think. So yeah, that's that one there. For the boss lady, don't quit, CJ. So
I'm not yet.
Yeah, you post Charlotte until she follows. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Right. So main reason why we're here for. We'll quickly skip over some of the WrestleMania stuff. So we have a new heavyweight champion in Jey Uso, Mr. Yeet Man, as it is. Yeet. Let's get some reactions then. So, how did obviously I wasn't in the space when it happened because I know Monty and I bet Leslie, were you in the space as well on the ATD one when it came to it? So I don't know what your reactions were when Jey finally like won that title and made Gunther tap and that, but like what was it sort of like at the time, and sort of how do you feel about Jey being world heavyweight champion at the moment on that? Let's go on and do it.
Go ahead.
Whoever wants to go first.
Money. You know.
Well, our reaction is recorded. Number one, if you want to hear it, it's the first thing that you hear. But also, I think I lost my voice after he won because we were just screaming so loud, and just to see that he actually tapped Gunther out to his own move, I was like, "Oh, this is amazing!" But no, it's been a long time coming, you know, from him being a tag champ to that first match with Roman to the Hell in the Cell match, which I refer to as Training Day, to now this is perfect for him. I'm so happy for Jey. I'm so proud of him. Leslie.
Just to reiterate your stuff, I agree with you. And I just want to say how super, super proud I am of him. He has worked his tail off like his whole career. And he's just, that run he had, when it like with the IC title was short,
like
and we were all upset. Yeah. And it was like, so finally, this is his moment. I want to say this is but I'm going to keep it to this is his, and I hope he goes out, and I hope he's still riding that high of just shout out to Jey Uso. You are amazing. You deserve it. ATD loves you, and we support you, and we are just super proud of you, and just to see how much you have grown. And that's all I got. I get emotional when I talk about this family, y'all, and it's when to see them accomplish big things. So, but no, I'm super proud of Jey Uso. Now, WWE, do right by him. Give him a decent title reign, please. That's all we ask. One title reign. One decent title reign with this World Heavyweight Championship.
Please do not let him drop it in a week. Do not let him drop it at Backlash. Give us the SummerSlam at least. I mean, we need something. If y'all want to carry it all the way to WrestleMania 42, I'm not gonna hold you. I mean, I personally wouldn't mind that. I mean, I'm not here to tell you how to book the show. Although, since one of you, Triple H, is probably listening to our lives and getting your ideas, run me my money. But I mean, that's just the way I feel about it. I personally think that, if they carry it all the way to Mania, great. But give us at least a SummerSlam. That's all we ask.
Yeah. What on you, CJ?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, I said it every single week leading up to WrestleMania. he even says it in a documentary, like, we're strapping a rocket to your back. Like, he's the number one seller in merch right now. Like, he's got that place absolutely shaking. That's why they kicked the show off with him. So, like, they're going to ride this, and he got his moment, you know, and hats off to him. Like, I'm not the biggest, like, Jay and Jimmy. Like, I'm more of the Roman Rock side, but I'm happy for Jay. Like, you know, personally, I mean, if I had to choose between world title matches, I'd go with Jay and Gunther. I didn't really care for the ending, though. Like, I didn't. For me, like, I knew Jay was winning. I knew that, but the way they did it, like having Gunther tap out in like 2 seconds, for me it just didn't really look believable. But I'm happy for Jay though. I just think you know Triple H could have tweaked the ending a little bit, but I mean my night 2 main event was way worse. So I'm happy for Jay.
Yeah. Fair enough. Whilst we're on the subject of Gunther, we're going to go a little bit off board here, but I've done this already today, so we might as well carry on with it. What do we think then to the whole Gunther and Pat McAfee, Michael Cole thing? Now, do we think this is going to lead to Gunther versus Pat McAfee, or do we think the rumored Gunther Goldberg match is going to happen, and that Pat McAfee is going to call in Goldberg? Because that was meant to be happening. Goldberg had the reason why I say that is because basically Goldberg has said that he's having his final match this summer in the WWE ring. So, do we think they're going to call him in for that, really, or do we think it's going to be McAfee? Which way do we think we're going with it?
I don't think it's going to be Pat McAfee. So I don't know why I'm trying to pronounce his name. I think we are gonna. I think this is gonna lead to Gunther versus Goldberg. He is coming back. He is gonna have his retirement match, probably SummerSlam. So yeah, they can't fit everything on the Backlash card. I know they already got like 9 matches booked for this card, but you know Trips ain't doing that. He's gonna give us 5 matches and that's a wrap. So yeah, I mean they could do Pat. I mean I think it'd be okay for Gunther to get away from the world title for a while. But I think we're ultimately leading to Goldberg and Gunther.
Yeah. What do you ladies think of it, really? What do you think?
I mean, I personally feel like this. I think that Gunther versus Goldberg, to me, it sounds like Endgame, but I feel like they could possibly run Pat and Gunther first. And then go ahead and do Gunther versus Goldberg at the very end of it. That's just my ideology of it. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. What about you, Leslie?
My thing is, if you're going to get Goldberg in there, you want to involve him some way. It goes back to the storyline. You want to get him in there. Maybe you could run McAfee and Gunther. You know, maybe Gunther gets out of control and Goldberg comes in for the assist for Pat McAfee. And then there you could gradually set up that match between Goldberg and Gunther. But I feel like that's the only way for me that would work, is just kind of create some kind of storyline as such. But I do feel that, I mean, you got to at least give McAfee the chance to get his lick back, as we say. So whether he's successful, whether Goldberg is the one to help him assist in doing that, who knows? But
yeah, I mean, I don't generally listen to him, but Bobby earlier on gave me Bobby, my co-owner, if anyone doesn't know. Basically, he came up with a really good idea, a really good point. Now, McAfee he's going to be going back to doing college football come August, September time. So, do they have Gunther write him out? This is the thing. Is like, do they have Gunther write him out, and then Goldberg comes in after that? So they obviously then have him brought off TV by using this whole Gunther feud and stuff like that. Really, that's what I'm. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, he's supposed to go back to college football like August, I think, maybe end of August. So like, yeah, I mean, Michael Cole keeps making all these points about how they don't feel safe out there and they should be able to express their opinions. So like, yeah, I mean, we'll see, but I think they could write him off. I mean, we'll see though.
I mean, the only other thing that they can do is bring in El Grande Americano, because you know he's like one of the best wrestlers out at the moment.
You mean Starbucks?
But, yeah, Starbucks. Yeah, there you go. That can you know, but yeah, There's. I'm ignoring the comments for a minute because there's currently a fight going on about Jey Uso, so I'm skipping on from that one. We'll get into those in a minute. we'll move on quickly then. So a match that didn't really need to be on the card, but was on the card, was the New Day versus War Raiders, in which we got new tag team champions. Do you think that was the right result, or what? Really? I mean, I don't think it was, but yeah. What do we think, CJ?
I mean, the tag division is bad right now. Women's, men's, SmackDown is the only one that's even remotely good, and I think that match should have took the TLC match for tomorrow should have been on WrestleMania, but they had to do something. New Day, longest was it 12, 13 title reign. They're heel, so yeah, they had to pay it all.
Yeah. What do you think, Monty?
Majin Buu Day versus the War Raiders, Viking Raiders, whatever we call them now. I have to say this. Honestly, I knew, as we call them Majin Buu Day, I knew they were gonna win. I feel like personally they should have been on the Raw Go Home show and then put it at WrestleMania, because that ladder match, that TLC match, that was where I was going, ooh, that sounds really good. Let's do that. But they just said no. That's this Friday. So, Leslie.
Oh, with the tag team match, I do like the fact that they did change hands though, because with New Day being heel, if once again, I know I go back to the word storyline, but if they do this right, New Day's an experienced tag team. They should be able to have the ability to be able to elevate those titles in some way, because like CJ said, that tag team division is suffering. It's not really that good at the moment. So hopefully with them having it, they have that experience to be able to elevate those titles back where they need to be. Once again, if they play it right, it's just one of those, we just gotta wait and see what happens. But I like the idea of them having the titles though. I do like that idea.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, yeah, and we'll quickly skip through some of these matches because we're coming up close to the time. Well, no, we've still got 20 minutes left, but yeah, we've still got a lot of talking. So we've got Jade Cargill versus Naomi, in which Jade Cargill won. Right result? What do you think? Because I know obviously some of you are massive Naomi fans and stuff. So what do we think here, really?
I don't think
that.
Go ahead. I'll let the ladies go first.
Yeah, they could have kept that one. They could have kept that one. It was not good. I love Naomi, and you know what? I love Jade, but it was bad. In fact, they could have put that TLC ladder match with the tag teams on there instead of that. That's just my opinion, but it was not good.
Yeah. What do you think, Leslie?
The match, to me, I have to agree with Monty. The match wasn't the best, but here's the deal. They had Naomi lose that match. Why do you spend all this time building this character to be this psycho, diabolical new character who feels she's justified in doing what she did, no matter how bad it was? Why do you spend all this time building her up like that, only to have her come out and to lose?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I didn't understand. The match could have been better, and I usually have better reviews for both of these women because I like to watch both of them work. But this one could have been better. But that was my big gripe with the match. Why do you go through this process, this journey with Naomi, only to have her to lose? When they finally do face off.
Yeah, not only that, just the calling the spots in the ring. I'm just going, ooh, can we not do that? Can y'all stop calling them? Just let it happen. Jesus Christ, y'all didn't practice this. That's all.
Yeah, I agree with Leslie. I think that, and Monty as well. Like, the match was, Naomi did what she could do. I think Jade's great, but I don't think I said this all along. I think they push Jade too much. She's not ready. Naomi did what she could do, but from a storyline standpoint, like going all the way back to this whodunit thing, like, why do you have the heel lose right here? Because how are you going to get back to it? Like, what are we going to do? I mean, we're going to bring Bianca back into the storyline. That's the only thing I can think of possible to get this.
Probably, yeah. So, I mean, I think it was the wrong result. They should have had Naomi win that one in the heel, but I mean, yeah, I'm not really going to comment much more on that one. Next one then, so we then have a new United States champion in Jacob Fatu after he beat LA Knight. So another member of the Bloodline holding a title. I guess you girls, well, I guess you ladies are happy on Jacob Fatu being the US champ. Yeah, let's just get then some quick comments on that then. Really, yeah, might as well start off with Bonnie this time.
Honestly, ever since I remember watching clips of him in MLW, and I'm just going, oh my god, he's so good. I want to know. I just want to see what he does when he comes into WWE. Finally, he's here and he's on a tear. And I'm just like, they need to put something on him right now just so we can see how good he looks with it. And when they finally did it, just his promos, the way he talks, the way he moves, everything. I'm over here and I'm just like, I want more. Give me more.
Mm-hmm.
So this title, him winning the United States Championship, this is a rocket. Let's keep this going. I'm happy. Leslie?
Again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I'm super proud of him. And I'm one of those as well, Monty, that had watched him come up from like MLW, had watched him come up from GCW and all those independents that we know of if you're a fan. And just to see him just, go out there and cut a promo and it'd be awesome. It'd be amazing and leave you. And just not only that, but the in-ring ability to just, I can't say enough, because I was one that was so excited for a couple of years before he came. I was like, WWE, you need Jacob Fatu here yesterday. Okay. So, but I hope they do let him continue to do what he can do and let him to showcase even more of his ability that he can do in the ring, because he is amazing. And if you haven't watched any of his old footage, I encourage y'all to go back and watch those MLW matches, because y'all will be in awe. Y'all will be in awe. I'm a big fan. I will forever be a big fan of Jacob Fatu, and I'm super proud of him. So shout out to Jacob.
Yeah. What about you, TJ?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the right call. I went back and forth. I didn't know if they were going to try to replay the Jacob Solo storyline first and have Solo cost him, but it's definitely the right call. This is first of many championships for Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Braun are going to be main eventing a lot of these big manias in the next 5 to 10 years. Like, this is just the first step for Jacob. Like, kind of like with Braun with the IC title. I mean, we're going to be seeing Jacob in the main event, maybe if not next year, the year after. And sky's the limit for him. I mean, he's going to win a lot of titles. So it's great call about
true,
the
yeah, I mean, yeah, Jacob well deserved. Yeah, no, well deserved for Jacob. That one was he's going to elevate up that title. I'll say more than what do we call him? Los Angeles Knight. Is it
Los Angeles Knight?
Much more than Los Angeles.
Knight.
Yeah, that night.
Yeah.
So moving on then. So we had a sudden change to this match beforehand. So it was meant to be Rey Mysterio, but it ended up being Rey Fenix instead. And he faced off against El Grande Americano now. Obviously, who do we still think is El Grande Americano before we get into this? Because, I mean, I've heard a few rumors and stuff, and, and there's a few things that could be this idea, that one. So,
that's him.
That's the culprit, everybody. That's the culprit.
Hang on. We've mucked up on screen zero done because I've done that. That's clever. Yeah, I've restored that. Yeah, so El Grande Americano, obviously he won his his debut. Well, his debut match. It wasn't it really? No, he's done a couple of others on Raw, hasn't he? I can't remember. Well, whatever he won his debut at, he's had a WrestleMania moment. And he's had a WrestleMania moment over someone like Chad Gable and stuff, which is still shocking to me that Chad Gable never made it to the WrestleMania card at all. Do we think that was the right call or anything for that one? To have him on to have him win and everything over Ray.
The IWC is automatically going to. I see this crap all over my timeline. Oh, Ray Phoenix is buried already. No, he's not. He wasn't even supposed to be in the match, guys. Like, Ray was meant to lose, so like. It was the right call. Like, Ray Phoenix is gonna be fine. Everybody just needs to, like Monty said, need to take that chill pill, chill out.
Yeah. What do we think then? Let's go, Leslie. Then next one. What do we think, Leslie? I think it was a good call.
I don't know. I wasn't that invested in it, to be honest. But yes, I do agree with CJ when it comes to Ray Phoenix. That's, he's a superstar in his own right, and he's going to continue to be. This little bump in the road with Grande Americana, Chad Gable, isn't going to stop him. But just my opinion. But yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah. What do we think, Molly? Then before we move on.
Honestly, that was my bathroom break match, to be honest with you. But as for Starbucks, I mean, it's Starbucks. I'm just waiting for them to figure out who it is. But as for Ray Phoenix, guys, I need y'all to chill with using slang that they use, okay? It doesn't mean what you think. I believe you keep using. I feel like quoting Indigo Montoya. You keep saying that word, but I don't think it means what you think it means. But that's my feeling.
Well, yeah, and then we'll there's probably going to be a lot of opinions on this next match. So Tiffany Stratton defeated Charlotte Flair to retain her women's championship. Do we think that was the right call? Do we think Ashley deserved that title, or do we think Tiffany keeping it on her sort of was a good thing, or what? Let's pass it over to CJ this time, because I know CJ's probably got a lot to say on this one. Yeah, what do you think, CJ?
I love Tiffany, but I don't know. They had no chemistry in the ring. The match was awful. They both looked bad. There was a lot of botching. Charlotte has slowed down a lot. I don't know if she's trying to do the right thing and put someone over finally. I know the IWC loves to run her in the ground because she never put anybody over. I don't know if it's the right call. We'll see what the follow-up is. I thought Charlotte would win here and build Tiffany back up and have Tiffany win the title back at SummerSlam, but doesn't look like they're going my route, so I didn't like it, but that's just me.
What do we think, Monty? Because I'm a fan of Ashley.
I mean, I have to say, I love everybody's favorite bougie auntie. I love her. That whole match between the whole build and everything, it was off. And I feel like it was off because the fans started booing Charlotte, and really Charlotte didn't need to be the heel in this. Tiffany did. I could have got over the loss a little bit better if they had built it correctly and properly. But also, I mean, it's just the chemistry wasn't there. It wasn't what I thought it would be. Now, Tiffany beating Charlotte, I mean, I could kind of see the writing on the wall. I didn't want to say it out loud, but I was like, I think that they're going to give it to Tiffany and they're going to run this shit again. And so, in my opinion, this is just one of those things where I'm like, okay, they need to do something with this because this is terrible. But I didn't really care for it. It wasn't good to me.
Leslie, what do you think?
For me, I have to. My big thing was the build. The build was, not the best, and some of those promos were downright. My word I'm going to use is cringe. And I love both athletes. I'm thinking. Monty said something about them running it back. I'm going to probably go with what CJ usually goes with when he says trilogies. I think this is going to be one of those that Triple H is probably going to do the trilogy with. So maybe perhaps, excuse me, use your words, Leslie. Perhaps that is why Charlotte put her over and Tiffany retained. I don't know. Do I want to see a trilogy between those two? Let me just say this. Yes, but they got to fix it. I don't know. I don't know if it could survive a trilogy if they don't fix it, because the fans are going to be like, we don't want this anymore. And that's, of course, I know they don't care about what we want, so to speak, but you know what I'm saying. You all know what I'm saying as fans. So we'll see what they do with it. I hope they do run it back, and we'll see if we get that trilogy, and we'll see who comes out on top.
If it doesn't work in that second match, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
True. Move on.
So just before we get into the match which caused the biggest heartbreak WrestleMania altogether, just a couple of things there. So Michael Plays is saying writing on the wall, is that a Jeff Hardy reference, Monty? That's what Michael Plays was asking there. He said apparently writing on the wall. I don't know when that was or whatever. Or was I getting up over on there?
I wasn't referencing Jeff Hardy, although I have a tendency to reference stuff when it comes to fruition. But no, I wasn't doing that.
Fair enough. And then Erica, Auntie Ashley Tiffy beat the extensions and veneers off each other. I like the match at Mania. The build was horrible. Yeah, true. They did. You know, I'm surprised that. Well, I'm going to be a bit mean here now, but seeing as obviously that they basically beat each other in the face, I'll be very surprised if Charlotte comes back with another new face on Friday or something, or possibly next week. You know, she'll have another new face soon, won't she? That'll be the next one there. So, I'll stop now. I think with that one. Moving on to the main event then on night one. So. Seth Rollins beat CM Punk and Roman Reigns after aligning with the wise man Paul Heyman. Biggest upset of WrestleMania, I'd say, this year. That one was, which nobody saw coming. Well, a few of us saw coming, but you know, nobody saw coming at the start. Let's because of course it's Bloodline and Seth and everyone like that. Really, let's go to you, Leslie, first. What do we think? What did you think about that?
I have never had a match here recently drive me to the point to where I wanted to cuss everybody out. I was so mad. And I was like, let me just say, Franklin, you are my enemy. You are on my top of my enemy list. That's all I'm going to say. But no, we expected it. We expected it. We all knew that Roman was going to take an L. We knew he wasn't going to win. And as bad as I wanted him to, you know, in my fan head, I guess I wanted him to, but it was good. It wasn't really like shocking, but then it was, I guess it wasn't to me because we talked about it a lot. So, but yeah, I can't talk about that anymore.
No, that's fine. That's fine, obviously. Molly, I was talking to you here next, and then we'll end it with CJ.
Okay, so when the whole match started, I told everybody I was here. I was not here for 5-star graps. I was here for mess. Because I knew this entire storyline was messy. That's what I was here for. Mm-hmm. I was here for mess. I have to say they did deliver on mess. As for Paul Heyman, I hope when you go to bed at night, every side of the pillow is not cold. It is hot. I hope you stub your toe on the tiniest corner of the wall and you don't even know how you did it. I hope that when they ask that when I hope you get delayed. I hope your flights get delayed. I hope you are mildly inconvenienced for the rest of your life. Paul Heyman, count your days. As for Seth Rollins, good luck on that one. Because we all know what's finna happen to you. It happened to Punk. It happened to Brock. It happened to Roman. Good luck. Because Paul Heyman got what he wanted at the end of the day. And that is Braun Breaker. You have just delivered him Braun Breaker on a silver platter. But also, I kind of want CM Punk and Roman Reigns to become best friends. And that's it.
Go on, CJ. End this then for night one then. What do we think?
I think it was the second best match on the WrestleMania card. It told a story from start to finish. We got, you know, everybody wanted to see CM Punk to win because it was his first WrestleMania main event. Roman Reigns, obviously our tribal chief. Seth Rollins, he needed a character. It was time for him to get to that character. I'm not the biggest Seth fan, but Paul Heyman, I don't really like how he really dug in there with his arm on Roman. It was a little creepy with the low blow. He was really digging down there. Hopefully he didn't tear his arm off or anything. No, but it was a great match. A lot of close finishes. I don't know. I liked the match. I liked the story it told. I'm all about storytelling. So for me, it was 5-star. Going to be one of the best triple threats in history, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, I will just say that we're up to the hour mark, but we're going into overtime. Let's do this then to do like two. Just a quick couple of things then beforehand. So Erica turned around and said, "Not Zero coming in like a wrecking ball on Auntie Ashley." That's a sort of insider joke there. We know what that one's about. Erica again. Then this is how I feel about the match. The build for it was so. Sassy Seth is desperate for acknowledgements. CM Punk wears band panties. Roman, my OTC. Paul, I hope you stub your toe 5 times a day. True. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I sort of agree with all that. Let's have a look at modest music just quickly. I feel like Seth with Paul could maybe work. Breaker doesn't need a mouthpiece, in my opinion. That's cool. Yeah. No, yeah. Like I was saying earlier on, I believe that's going to be the new evolution, basically.
Mhm.
Like you've got that one there. So, you've got the sort of, what was it? It's the sort of, what would I put them down as? Seth is sort of like the Triple H, like the leader sort of guy. Bron as the Batista. Then you've then got Paul Heyman as sort of the Ric Flair, sort of smooth talking, sort of not a great on the mic and stuff, but like not so great in the ring. Obviously, Paul Heyman. That makes sense there for it. Yeah. And then I just need to find out Randy Orton, whoever that is, really. I don't know who that could be, but that's somebody there. Yeah, so let's quickly shoot into night 2 then. We'll quickly go through these because I know we've got up to the hour mark. So Io Sky is still the women's world champion. She beat Rhea and Bianca. Correct call, do we think? Or do we think somebody else should have done that one? What do you think? Cool.
I think so. You guys got to pay attention. Obviously, I know everybody on here, is very well endowed on what's going on with all these stories, but the fans are really starting to boo Bianca. I think this is WWE's opportunity to capitalize on that and have her go heel. The only problem I have with this story is they went right back to Rhea Monday night. So like, we know Triple H has this little fantasy or whatever with Rhea Ripley. So like, I think they're going back to Rhea and Io again. So like, what are we doing with is Rhea going to win the belt again? Like, I don't think she needs it, honestly. But Bianca needs a character change, and I hope that she gets that.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I think Rhea's winning that title back at SummerSlam.
Oh, yeah.
She's going on a very long run of it. So, just before we end, then, so what do you think, Leslie? Then on that, Leslie and Molly, before we go to this one.
As for me, I'm glad that Io won. She took it's like she took that abuse from Bianca and Rhea, kind of pushing her out of the way and everything. So I'm glad to see her kind of just go into character and like she was fed up with them and just take that win. Excited to see now where they put what they do with Bianca. As far as, in my opinion, I hope they put her back in this story. I do see some shades of NXT heel Bianca. So yes, I'm ready for that turn. Let's do it. Let's go and let's see what's to come from all that. But I'm happy that Io won.
Yeah, Molly then.
I'm personally, I mean, the way that they had teed it up and set it up, Io was going to win because Bianca and both Rhea just pushed her aside, didn't care about her, so poo-poo. But I'm happy that she did win. As for Rhea, I like Rhea, but I kind of need her to take a break from the title picture right now.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we had that match between Io and Stephanie Vicure, great. Julia came out, even amazing. Roxanne Perez, I need more of that than a Rhea Ripley and just directly go to a Rhea Ripley title run. Like, love Rhea, but just give her a timeout. There are other women on the roster that need it. She does.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Yep. So next one then. So Drew McIntyre defeated Damian Priest in a Sin City Street fight. That was just chaos. That match was absolute chaos, and I was all for it basically. Yeah. I kind of let's just get some quick reactions to that one then. So what do we think? Do we think right winner with Drew McIntyre?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100,000% the right winner.
Yes.
He's been booked, since he won that title. It's time for them to do something, let Drew have some kind of reign at some point, I feel like. And I love like part 2 of the Still at Work board, taking a selfie on, putting it on X. So very entertaining, great match by both of them. Priest did well as well. I think he performed well too.
Yeah. I mean, this is brought up earlier on, and I didn't realize this, but up until a couple of days ago, Drew McIntyre, he had his pinned tweet as the one from last year where it said "bored at work." So if you went down his timeline, at one point in time, you had the pinned tweet was "bored at work," and then straight underneath it was "still bored at work." And they were literally run after the other. And that was an amazing moment. That was an absolutely amazing moment when you went down there. So yeah, I found that quite funny actually. What do we think, Leslie? Before we go,
I agree. I agree with y'all. It was good, and yes, definitely a Drew win. That was what was needed, and it's just like y'all saying. He's just his actions on social media, and just he's entertaining. He's fun. He's tough. Drew McIntyre. Yeah, I'm all for it.
Fair enough. Yeah. Next one then. So we've got a new Intercontinental Champion in Dominic Mysterio. I like that. I do. Right call, I think, there. And apparently it came down afterwards that, where a bit of interesting fact here is, when Dom was heading off and then he ran back to the ring, that was completely his own choice. That went off script and everything. He decided to do that because he was just lapping up the moment and stuff. So he was like, save the moment, isn't it? You've got to really take that moment. If you're being cheered for the first time in 2 years or whatever it is, and that is, you're gonna lap that moment up, really. Again, do we think right call or wrong call? Should there have been somebody else in that match who should have won, or Braun retain, or what? What do we think?
In my opinion, it's exactly the right call. I also feel like because he won and everything, and he got that pop, they're going to turn him face. Now, I don't think they're going to turn the rest of the Judgment Day face. I think that they're going to stay heel. But it would be interesting to see Liv turn on Dom and join Finn. But that would be that's just I've been waiting for that one. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, what do we think? We have one. Let's go CJ and we'll do Leslie.
Yeah, I've been calling for Dom for a long time to win the IC title. I think he's come a long ways in the ring. He can tell a story. He's got that massive heel heat. But he got the biggest pop, I think, of most anybody at Mania. I think, like Monty said, I think they need to capitalize. Like Dom's already said, he's okay with going face, whatever is best for the company. I'm all for it. Like Dom deserves a reign, I think.
Yeah. What do we think of Leslie?
You know what? Good for Dominic Mysterio. Good for him. There are others. He was in there with some talented athletes, and he was, and to like win like that. I would be all into supporting a babyface Dominic Mysterio. That would be fun. I mean, if he's this fun as a heel, he could be fun as a babyface too. And just to see those future matches, perhaps between him and Finn Balor, would be good as well.
Yeah. I mean, talking about Dom also on this one, I've seen something today, and somebody has put Dominic's WrestleMania entrance, and they've put Eddie's music over the top of it. That was pretty fun, and that one I've seen that one. Yeah. So they put Eddie Guerrero's music over the top of it, and that Dom making his WrestleMania entrance to it. They said it matches perfectly. If you look at the mannerisms, is it the Latino
heat or Live Cheat Steel?
It's the hill. It's Eddie's hill one, and that's it's his hill music. It was.
That's Eddie's son, don't you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio was the man who stepped up. He was the stepfather, so he stepped up.
Breaking news on EVP Xero Show. Eddie Guerrero, Dom Mysterio dad.
Yeah. CJ keeps disappearing into his background. So next one then. So we had Randy Orton's open challenge, which was answered by the man himself, Joe Hendry. We said his name and he finally appeared. That was a shocker because everyone had Rusev. Everyone thought it was going to be Rusev or something like that, but no, Joe Hendry. That was a moment. Like when those doors open as well. Even I looked at it and thought, "Is that Nick Aldis?" Because it looked like Nick Aldis now. Or even Bobby in that brought this one up earlier on. Is when the doors opened, he looked at it and thought, "Is that Aiden English coming in to do the Rusev Day thing?" And then of course, then as soon as you heard to say his name and he appears, that place just erupted. And and obviously we were saying earlier on that, Dom got the biggest cheers in that, but I think Joe Hendry, if you listen back to it, I personally think Joe Hendry got the biggest cheers in the night. I'm not 100% sure, especially when he came out and he done an interview yesterday with Ariel Helwani. I can't ever say his last name, so I'm just going to bodge it and leave it as that. Basically, where he turned around and said that match came together literally just a week before Mania. That Triple H basically rang him a week before, and he answered the phone thinking it was something to do with NXT, and literally Triple H just went, "So Randy wants you to be his opponent at WrestleMania. How do you feel about it?" basically. And he was just like, well, you know, I'm not going to give up this opportunity. So yeah, so that's how that match came about. It was basically Randy personally wanted to face Joe Hendry for it, and that, which was quite interesting. But apparently, the second name to face him was Jeff Hardy. It was actually meant to be it was going to either be Joe Hendry or Jeff Hardy. That was the two names that were going to be doing it. So, but obviously, Randy personally chose, Joe Hendry, and we had that massive moment where an active TNA wrestler made their WrestleMania debut for it. So, what do we think then? Just quickly then, before we before we move on, what do we think of everybody? Let's go along the lines to CJ as well.
I mean, it made sense. I mean, you can't have Rusev come back and take a loss. Zelina's husband, he's not going to come back. Like everybody's like, oh, it's definitely him. No, it's not. I think it was a great choice by Randy. Hats off to Randy for, he personally said, I want Joe Hendry. He sees something in him. Probably one of the top 3 best pops of the night. He still got a WrestleMania moment, and it didn't hurt him to take those RKOs and lose. So it was a win-win. Great, it was a great call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Molly, might as well.
I just want to say I love Joe Hendry, and when he showed up, I lost my mind. But of course, when he went to do that turn and smile at everybody, and Randy came out and RKO'd him out of nowhere, it was a chef's kiss. It was perfect. Welcome to WrestleMania, Joe Hendry. Mm-hmm. But no, it was. I couldn't ask for anything else. I really couldn't.
Well, what do you think, Leslie? What did you think when Joe Hendry showed up?
You know what? I loved it. And that pop that he got, it was loud. It was huge. So the WWE universe is definitely, they love Joe Hendry, and they are have welcomed him with open arms into the WWE. And you know what? I will be all for it. Let him show up. Let him appear as many times as he wants to. And I know another young lady of a team member that really enjoyed that probably too. Shout out to Josie. We got to see Joe Hendry, Josie. So there you go at WrestleMania. Good deal.
Yeah. I mean, the thing I found quite funny in that from that match as well was when Randy done the Joe Hendry turn. That was funny. No, I don't know if anyone picked up on that one. Yeah, but he done the Joe Hendry turn. That was hilarious. That was. And
that was good.
Like there was a post match interview as well where Randy done it, and he basically turned around and said that that's probably not going to be the only time you're going to see him do the Joe Hendry turn. He said now that basically he's done it once already, he's going to keep doing it, and that hoping to call out Joe Hendry again. And that's so I'm like, yes, yeah, we got to have that one back. Yeah, we got to do that one now.
I love it. Again. I love it.
So next one then. So we had Logan Paul defeating AJ Styles. I think that was a bad move. I do. I personally think Logan Paul should not have beaten AJ Styles. He should have had Styles win. And just get some quick replies to this one because I want to move on with this match. This one's hurting to think about how they ended that one. So yeah, go on, CJ. Off you go. Kick us off.
I have to disagree, partner, on this one. I think that was the right move. Logan Paul is, whether we like him or whether we don't, he's bringing a whole lot of followers, and he is good in the ring. He's already lost some big matches to Roman and Cody and Seth at WrestleMania. I love AJ. Like, I know he's on the back end of his career, but it was time for Logan Paul to get a WrestleMania victory. He is going to be a world champion one day, whether we like it or not. Mm-hmm. He's great. I don't hate him like everybody else. So, like, I thought it was the right call.
Yeah. What do we think, Money and Leslie? Quickly do that.
For me, I'm gonna have to give. I will give Logan his flowers. He is amazing. He's done good, and he's gonna be a future world champion. I mean, my sentimental pick was AJ, but I think they did the right thing as well. He has to be able to beat someone to even push him further. So AJ, I would not be like it's good. My point is, it's good that AJ had chosen, or AJ is willing to elevate a young talent, because there are some that may not be that willing to put Logan over. So it was that was shout out to AJ for doing that for the young man, and he just didn't do that to anybody. Logan is going to be he's going to be good. I mean, I'm not a fan. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan, but I can't deny the kid's ability. He's caught on to the business and to the in-ring work just like that. So yeah, I unfortunately I feel they did the right thing with that.
What do you think, Monty?
I think AJ Styles lost to somebody from Team 10. That's what I think. Can we go to the next one?
Yeah, we'll move on. So, to me, the next match for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Now, in my eyes, this match was completely pointless. Yes, it brought Becky back, but what was the point in them winning it to then drop it the very next night? That's that was completely useless and completely pointless, really. So, I mean, yeah, fine. Becky came back in and led to the Lyra Hill turn and stuff, but they could have done that on Raw. They could have saved Becky's return for Raw and just sort of go that way. But I mean, to me, I didn't like that. I did not like that match made it to the card. They didn't need to do that at all. They, especially not having them win, to then just like have them drop the next day. It wasn't needed, not at all. We'll quickly cover this one then before we go on into the main event. So. Leslie, Monty, starts off, might as well this time.
Honestly, it could have been Alexa and Nikki. It could have been Lash. It could have been Lash Legend and Jakari Jackson. It could have been somebody else other than this. To be honest with you, this was putting a hat on top of a hat, especially when they just won it, and then to have that heel turn, they could have done it on Monday. But I mean, Becky's back! Yay!
Yeah, what do we think? Let's go Leslie next then.
As for that match, you know what? I'm sorry. The only thing that did excite me was the Becky return. So I'm going to go with Monty on this one. Becky's back. Yay. That's fine.
Yeah, I feel bad for Bayley. She's been one of the biggest trailblazers in the women's division. She just got pushed aside. For Becky Lynch. I love Becky, but I don't think that's the right call. I think if they're going to make a move like that, then they need to have Becky turn right there instead of, I messaged Zero. I was like, I think she's going to turn and cost them the match. And then we have heel Becky against Lyra instead of winning the titles and then going to Raw, dropping them, and then turning. Like, yeah, Triple H was drunk when he booked that.
Definitely. Talk about drunk before we go on to the main event. I think people might know where this is going into, but talk about drunk. Stone Cold Steve Austin, the glass shattered, and he had 2 accidents at WrestleMania. First one, he drove directly into the ramp. He didn't even make it up to the ramp at first with his entrance. I don't know if you've seen that bit, but he actually drove in before he even got up to the ramp. I don't know how the hell you missed that big ramp. He must have been drinking so much then. Before he even showed up. He then came out and started counting the crowd, with I don't know if you see that where he was just like, let's count 1, 2, 3, and that, and obviously drove the ATV into some poor person in the audience, which she's probably got free backlash tickets, I expect, and that from the company, Nick Khan and stuff. So yeah, that was the just quick little drunk thing there. Let's just quickly skip over then. So, final match, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed WWE Championship. Was it the right winner in John Cena? What do we think? Or do we think Cody should retain? Or what do we think? Who wants to start off?
I'll let the ladies go first because I got a lot to say about this.
I get that what he's trying to do is he's trying to long-term book it because John Cena is retiring this year. But I kind of needed a heel turn from Cody. I needed him to lose his just give up the happy-go-lucky good guy gimmick and take the mask off and just show us what we really think of everybody. John Cena, on the other hand, I mean, congrats. I mean, he broke up with me and everybody else. I mean, I didn't know we were dating, but congrats to John Cena. But I feel like there was a better way to do it, and I completely agree with what The Rock said. There was a better way that they could have done this finish. There was a better way that they could have just done the match. Was it the right winner? If you're going to prolong the storyline, yes. but I really just wanted that heel turn. I was here for the heel turn.
Yeah, that's what we needed, yeah. Leslie? We'll let
Um,
CJ go last.
I kind of agree with Monty. It was good to see Cena get that 17, but it could have been done. And obviously, I agree with The Rock too, because it definitely could have been done much better. But I really want to see. I want to see that Cody heel turn. I want to see, like, make him be. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it, or I don't know
Make
what.
him a sanctimonious jerk.
There you go. Maybe it's. I was going to say I don't know what it's going to look like, but there you go. There you go.
Have
But
him gaslight us more than Roman did.
right.
He's a
Oh.
cancer. He can do that.
But yeah. So that should be a consolation to John Cena for us. Well, oh no, never mind. He broke up with us, not vice versa. Okay. Anyways, John Cena got number 17, y'all. There we go.
I was going to say, just before you go into this, CJ, one of the best ways that they could have Cody turn heel is John Cena's out there making a wish, and Cody just comes out and just takes out the Make-A-Wish kid. That'd be the best way that they could do it, really. You know, that'd be an option there. You know, he's just out there just doing a Make-A-Wish, and John Cena, Cody just comes out and just takes out the Make-A-Wish kid. That'd be easy. That'd be the best way.
You mean
That'd
break a
turn
wish?
Cody also.
Cute
Break a
me
wish.
of the kid from when he broke up with us, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, yeah. I mean that would make sense, wouldn't it? Really, you know, that would be that one. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad. Yeah, I got a.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. There it is. That's
You mean
Cody's
that
heel
one?
turn right there.
Oh my goodness. That poor baby.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So yeah, go on, CJ. Let's end this then.
for me, like, I'm just gonna go back to what I said Monday. I think that this was a terrible decision. I'm not a Cody Rhodes fan. Was I rooting for him? Hell yeah, 100% I was. I'm not a John Cena fan. I do respect what he's done for the business, but I think this takes let's go back for a second. I think this takes away from Roman Reigns' title reign. Cody Rhodes spent 2 years finishing a story to end the most historic reign that we're ever gonna be alive to see. And he drops the title to a 47-year-old John Cena, who is definitely lost a step in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they told this story about Cody Rhodes didn't want to sell his soul. John Cena sold his soul, but The Rock never showed up. You know, I think they rushed it. John Cena had this whole year to win 17. They pulled the trigger too fast, I think. I think they could have had him win closer to the end of the year or SummerSlam. I don't like it. I think it was the wrong call, but I'm hoping that it's a short reign. But I think they should have turned Cody heel. I'm with the ladies. I thought that's what was coming. But Rock not showing up and Travis Scott being involved, like, it reminded me of Hogan. Dennis Rodman is what I got from the vibes from it. It was terrible. Kylie, Kris Jenner, come get your son-in-law. He don't need to.
They're
be
not
out.
married. They never got married. That's
Well,
the baby daddy.
Baby daddy, come get your daughter's baby daddy or whatever. Yeah, it was bad. One of the worst WrestleMania main events of all time in my eyes.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that's really going to save it now is an 8-year Tongaloa title reign.
Yes.
Yeah,
I completely agree.
8
FMS Tongaloa, come save us, please.
Yeah. And that's what we need, really. That's going to be the best one there. Anything else before we close out the show? Anything else from you ladies or CJ about WrestleMania and overall? Really?
I hope SummerSlam's better. I think it was a 3.8 out of a 5, but Triple H has got to start really, like, shoring this stuff up. These storylines, like, they got to start making sense. And some of these finishes, I think he can maneuver. So I hope SummerSlam's better, but it was okay.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think, you two then? Money and Leslie. Any other comments on WrestleMania before we end the show? All right.
I'm good.
Yeah, no. Anything, Money?
Honestly, I'm tired of them fumbling bags when they came to it. They should have turned Cody. Like when The Rock had the plan set up to turn Cody heel,
Yeah.
Triple H should have kept his mouth shut because he didn't have anything coming up, and that's why he's gonna get fired on Monday. But you know, I feel like that it could have been better. That's all.
Yeah.
Better.
It's Fumble Mania 3. So
yeah, right. Well, that was WrestleMania, and that was our show today. Thank you, Moni and Leslie, for swinging by today. Really, enjoying the show. As per normal, then we'll do our little intro. So I will just say this. So don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us all. Our ats are going across the bottom. That is our Twitter at. So that's For You Wrestling for me. Charlie, CJ's one, which is Charlie 718-03-496. I got that right. ATT Podcast 23, and don't forget the DKO Energy account. Don't forget to get your DKO Energy. Otherwise, you will have to go one-on-one with the Undertaker in the middle of the ring if you don't get any DKO Energy. So that's that. Pass you over to my co-host CJ to do his little intro, and then we will do the ATD one, which I think they've got planned in to who's doing that one. So I'll pass you over to CJ first of all.
Yeah, I'm the EVP. Obviously, if you've been watching every week. Thank you to Monty and Leslie for coming on. Always an honor. I got started with you guys, so it's crazy that web it's kind of like a wrestling storyline, like I started with you guys. I love you guys. Tomorrow night is main event Friday. Don't miss that. I'll be live again Monday at 6 o'clock for main event Mondays. And if you're on X right now, and you better go vote for main event Mondays, because I am in a dog fight, and I think it's a quarterfinals, maybe. I don't know. There was 120 podcasters, and there's like 30 of us left. So go vote main event Mondays. Thanks, guys. Love you. Much love.
Okay, who's doing the outro? Is it you, Leslie? What we discussed, was it?
Okay, guys. So again, thank you all for joining us. Thank you for having us. You can find Acknowledge the Dynasty. You can find us at ATD Podcast 23 on X. You can also find us on YouTube, where there on YouTube we have a interview with the awesome Vale on Hawaii that we did back in January. You can find us on Twitter. Monty actually does SmackDown rundowns, I guess, for Twitter. She also does the
that's TikTok. That's TikTok.
That's TikTok. TikTok. What did I say? Okay,
you said Twitter.
Oh, see, but that's why she does the outros for us. But anyways,
you want me to do the final close of it? What I always say at the very end.
Let her do her thing, guys. But anyhow, look us up, and we got big things coming. So keep stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Please be sure to drink your water. For the love of God, watch your back for chair shots. Acknowledge your tribal chief and acknowledge Dynasty. And last but not least, this is not a rocktocracy. It is a rocktatorship. Good night, everybody.
Great. See you later. And I will just say as well, keep an eye out on my channel tomorrow, because I've got a Joe Hendry interview along with some CNA people. And also as well, I've got a live interview tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. I had to get that right. 4 p.m. EST, that one is, with actually a Netflix star. So I've actually got an actual TV star on my channel tomorrow night. All to be revealed when it comes to it. So we will see you tomorrow. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. See you around, everybody. Thank you for tuning in once more to the EVP Xero Show. And we'll be back next week for another edition. Thank you very much, and good night.